Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It means so your gaze to look down. This Quran is saying that to lower your gaze, to behave with modesty. Yes, it means in these days to be more confident, around, more modesty, and to put your eyes to where you're walking so that you may reach from here to there safely. This is for believers, not for unbelievers. This is for mu'mins. Other people, they're saying, I'm a Muslim, I'm that, and I don't look everywhere. You can do whatever you like. But for lowering his gaze, haya. And haya is a lost treasure in this Akhir Zaman. Majority of the people, they don't have modesty. They don't. How you can have modesty? When everywhere there's teaching, don't be shy, don't have shame, don't be modest. You have to be brave, you have self-esteem, you have confidence. From nothing, no shame, no fear from Allah, nothing. The whole world will respect you. Teaching from kids, from the kids, the colleges, and there is no real balance. And they're teaching you to have so much confidence, but you become the most spoiled person. You're very brave. But those ones, the mu'mins that Allah is saying have higher modesty, those are the ones when they see the rights of others, they stand up strong. See that the rights of others have been violated, the rights of Allah, the Prophet, they're ready to give up their lives and sacrifice everything. So modesty, now, just to put your eyes on now. Lowering your gaze doesn't literally mean now to do that. Although in these do that literally is going to give you a lot of benefit. That is haram. At least know and not to look at this. This is no good. This is no good. This is no good. Not to say it's okay. It's acceptable. It's funny. This is okay. This is beautiful. So I'm going to jump at teaching people how to love. Good. The dunya, I'm telling you, love the dunya. You're calling love people, tariqat, to love. Fall in love with the dunya. Bet with the dunya. That we learn from us, not the way that we learn from the Prophet ﷺ, because Prophet ﷺ says this dunya is a prison, believers, and for the unbelievers. You are belonging to tariqat and you think this world is a prison. Then go ahead. You don't do that hadith then. Are we saying we want to change everything? We cannot change everything. But at least in saying, Ya Rabbi, we don't like this. We know this. Your problem is like this. We cannot do anything. Don't make us to be amongst those who love these things, because you're going to be with the ones that you love. Don't put the love of it in our hearts. Now, that doesn't mean to. That means now you become more modest. With start to lower, to become more humble, to become more humble in your lifestyle. Like today, everywhere, issue of hijab, isn't it? Hijab, 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 hijab. So many people start, they say, oh, but you, even the word hijab didn't until 1,000 years ago. Because it didn't really, people really didn't use it. They used a different word, complicating so many things. Hijab means what? Not just to put a piece of cloth on the head. It is a whole attitude, the whole lifestyle. The lifestyle is knowing what is supposed to be and what can be open. When you have the hijab, let's speak about the hijab first. It is not just to have a piece of cloth. So many I'm seeing, they're just wearing the hijab, but they did not put that haya, that modesty in their hearts. So later we see very easy, they take off the hijab. They take it off. Women who are wearing hijabs, later they take it off. After years of wearing it, because that tasatur, that haya, that modesty, that the hijab is just one manifestation of it, did not enter into their hearts. Meaning now that is just a piece of cloth. Then, in the people saying it is not a piece of cloth. It is just a piece of cloth, then it is important. Because it has to enter to your heart. Meaning you have to have a hijab around your heart. Entering from the evil, entering from anything that is going to enter, isn't it? What does you use now? You're going to wear a hijab and you're going to walk around diggy like that, shopping everywhere, looking everywhere, going to beaches, entering into places where you're not supposed to enter. So many wearing hijab, and you see they wear split skirt, or they wear hijab new style. They wear hijab meaning tasatur, meaning modesty. They wear hijab, but they're wearing all types everywhere. You can see every curve. There is according to your own, and that is going to the fire. But and why wearing those ones, because the hijab is very easy for them to slimmer, and they are, number one, it is wajib, it is obligation. There is no way out of it. You cannot say now Quran is saying you cannot. You can try to argue this way, but it's not working. It is an order. Don't worry, I'm going to come to the men later if I have time. What tasatur in men is. But for the women, it is wajib, it is an order. If you take it off, you're going against Allah's law. Now, those ones, they are wearing it. Then later, they take it off. And they're putting it on Facebook. And they're saying, I have to be free. Now, they're doing something that is not so good. And instead of hiding it, they're making the whole world to be a witness. And Prophet ﷺ is saying, if you do a good thing, don't make the world to be witness. What your right hand does, your left hand must not know. Now they say, what your left hand does, make sure everybody knows. Now they're putting more wrong on top of wrong, curse on top of curse. Okay, they're doing that. But we're watching, they're doing it. They put picture side by side, you know, like before, after picture. So many times they have diet things, right? They show fat person and thin person, before, after picture. So before wearing hijab, after. Before wearing hijab, you see the nur coming from their face. After, their hair is like this, like Medusa. And they're smiling, putting paint and everything on their face. No tasatur, because the whole idea now is to show yourself, isn't it? I've never heard anyone saying, I'm going to take off my hijab and I'm not going to show to the world, only for Allah. Never. They only open it to show to the world. Now, I'm seeing so many people, instead of maybe giving some advice to this one, saying, sister or whatever, please don't. So many now praising that one, saying, MashaAllah, sister, you look so beautiful. Way to go. You took off your hijab. Now you are free. Be yourself. And if somebody says, you know, you shouldn't, everyone attacks now to that one, saying, who are you? You are not Allah. Why are you judging? Don't judge. Allah is the judge. You're not supposed to judge. Everyone jumping now. Complete now, upside down. Now we come to Akhir Zaman, where black is white and white is black. But those ones are able to do it so easily because it didn't enter into their hearts. But if they're doing it only for the sake of Allah and His Prophet, and doing it and knowing, understanding, now your life starts to change. Your iman starts to increase. The love that you have for Allah and His Prophet starts to increase. And your love to those ones that Allah loves starts to increase. Yes, that time you'll be surrounded by love. That way. Not by surrounded by the love of those ones who don't love Allah and His Prophet. We have nothing to say to those ones now. So many now, they're in squeeze position. They cannot be wearing the hijab in certain situations. We have nothing to say to those ones now. Especially if you are in that squeeze position and you ask help and the dua, you're not asking for dispensation. We're not like Catholic Church. We write dispensation. Or what is the other thing? Indulgence. I'm sure there are some Muslims, Sufi sheikhs who do that. Indulgence. Indulgence means you give me money, I'm going to write one certificate for you to say you go straight to Jannat. Whatever you do, until you die, whatever you do, I give you permission. Stamp authority, straight to Jannah. No such thing in Islam. Although I wouldn't be surprised if there are some crooked ones here and there. They give permission. They say, no, it's okay. You can do whatever you want. We don't give indulgence. But that one is asking for the prayers and the mercy of those ones who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, that one will become, that Shaykh, that saint will become a lawyer for that one. And he's going to protect that one and cut a deal with the judge some way, somehow. Yeah? That time, especially looking at the situation and the world that we're living in now, we don't interfere in that, because that one now, who has a saint as a lawyer, that one now, the main intention is for Allah and His Prophet, but he hasn't reached to a station where he's able to do everything 100%. But that time we may balance a little bit. Inshallah Rahman. May we all have the spirit, instead of just the words, to lower the gaze, to have the hijab, to have haya in our heart. If it doesn't enter into our heart, it's not going to pump to the rest of the body. Assalamu alaikum.